It's time for Recipe of the Day. I guess I'm going a little one-skillet dinner crazy this week because I have another one for you. Yesterday was that beef and potato hash. Today is a sausage and rice skillet. This one has kind of like jambalaya kind of flavors going on. Really different from yesterday's dinner, but also just one skillet ready in 30 minutes. And I know you're going to love this. Now, this one has a ton of flavor coming from the andouille sausage that's called for in here. If you don't want to use andouille sausage, you can use something like a kielbasa or any fully cooked, probably smoked sausage. That's going to be the best thing to use. If you don't want to use sausage of any kind, you can use any cooked meat. That's going to be just fine. Just chop it up. Now, the other thing that's called for in this recipe that I want to tell you about is the Cajun seasoning. There's only half a teaspoon called for because really with that andouille sausage, you don't need very much else. And so I totally hear you when you say you don't want to buy Cajun seasoning when you only need a half a teaspoon. Don't worry, I've got you. So I'm going to link to my Cajun seasoning recipes. You can make a batch using the seasonings you already have in your pantry. Now, the recipe that I'm linking to is like all the seasoning recipes on my site, The Cookful, which I really think I've made as convenient as possible for you. Seriously, if you bookmark our seasonings landing page, whenever a recipe that you're trying to make calls for a specific seasoning blend, go there, because this is going to help you. What we've done is each of these seasoning blends makes 4 ounces. That's half a cup. So it's going to fit in like a standard spice jar. But we've also given the amounts to just make 2 tablespoons. So if you don't need that full jar, you can just make a small batch. And then also I've listed the main ingredients. If you just need a little bit, you don't have to make a batch of anything. And so in this case, it's half a teaspoon of Cajun seasoning. I'm saying if you don't want to make a batch, if you don't want to buy it, you're just going to go in with a 1/4 teaspoon of onion powder and a 1/4 teaspoon of paprika, and then a dash of cayenne pepper, dash of garlic powder, dash of black pepper. That is what you're going to do, okay? But yeah, all these seasoning blend recipes are like this. I think they're really versatile and easy to use. You know, when you're making something and it calls for Montreal steak seasoning or whatever seasoning, you don't have Old Bay and you don't have it, you can just make a little bit using these recipes. So yeah, I'll link to the whole seasoning page for you as well. Okay, back to the actual sausage and rice recipe. What you're going to do is get out a large skillet and you're going to heat a tablespoon of cooking oil over medium-high heat. Olive oil, grapeseed oil, canola oil, avocado oil, whatever your good cooking oil of choice is, you're going in with that 1 tablespoon, medium-high heat, and then you are arranging your andouille sausage slices, 1/4 inch slices, in a single layer, overlapping them as little as possible. Cook them untouched until they're well browned underneath, about 3 to 4 minutes. Then you are stirring in the holy trinity. I told you we're going Cajun with this one. That holy trinity refers to onions, green bell pepper, and celery. We're doing 1 medium onion chopped, 1 green bell pepper chopped, and 2 ribs of celery chopped. You're also adding in 2 cloves of garlic that you've minced up, a half teaspoon of salt, and then that half teaspoon of Cajun seasoning, or it was a 1/4 teaspoon of onion powder, a 1/4 teaspoon of paprika, and then a dash of cayenne, garlic powder, and black pepper each. Okay, you're going to cook that, stirring occasionally until the veggies are nice and tender, 5 to 6 minutes. Then you're stirring in a 14.5 ounce can of diced tomatoes with the juice from that can as well, and 1.5 cups of chicken stock, 1 cup of uncooked long grain white rice, and 2 tablespoons of tomato paste. Give that a good stir to mix it all together. Increase the heat to high, bring it to a boil, then reduce it down to a low simmer. Cover and let it simmer away so that the rice is cooking. It's going to take about 20 to 25 minutes. Now, if you do not have a good lid for your skillet, there are other things you can do. You can use a big sheet pan over top. You can use some foil just tucked all over the top and tucked around. Just going to tell you, if you have a gas stove like I do, you want to be careful that nothing's going to catch on fire there. Now, if you can't get a tight seal for whatever reason, it's going to be totally fine. It's just going to take a little bit longer to cook because you can't trap that steam in there. So what you should do is put a kettle on of water to boil and just let it cook as well covered as you could do. And then if it seems to get dry, if you're looking at it and a lot of the water has evaporated away instead of staying trapped in there, then you'll just drizzle in some of that boiling water and give it a stir. And you just keep doing that until the rice is nice and soft. But like I said, if you had a lid, it's going to be 20 to 25 minutes covered at that low simmering heat. Then you're taking it off the heat. You're topping topping it with some chopped green onions and digging in. I will put the link to this recipe in the show notes for this podcast episode, or you can head to cookthestory.com/ROTD and get it there, or find it in our Facebook group, facebook.com/groups/recipeotd. And hey, just a quick note. I'm on a recording hiatus right now, so for the next little while, I'm replaying episodes from the archives, including this one. If you heard me mention a holiday, a season, or something going on in my life that seemed a bit off, that's why. Thanks so much for listening, and I hope you're enjoying these older episodes. I am Christine Pittman from cookthestory.com, thecookful.com, cookfor2.us, and from this podcast, Recipe of the Day. I hope you have a great day. Let's get cooking.